Welcome to the season preview for the Blue Knights. The Blue Knights are from Denver, Colorado. They have been a DCI semifinalist every single season since 1987. They are a 24-time DCI finalist, 15 straight appearances. Their best finish came both in 2000 and 2015 in 6th place last season, a bit of a disappointment, but still a top 10 finish in 9th with an 88.925. The Blue Knights look to go up the rankings there, but with a lot of course stepping up their game, they'll have to do the same to stay in the top 10. So the Blue Knights 2019 schedule. This is one of the, I'd say, more unique schedules we've seen from tours around World Class this season. And the main reason for that is because the Blue Knights, they are a top 10 core year in and year out and have been for quite a long time. The thing that's unique about this is the fact that they are starting a week later than everybody else. You think most cores start June 20th, June 21st, June 22nd, somewhere in there. Some of the lower ranking cores start like a week or two later, but nobody really in the top 10 really starts this late. All the world-class Western cores start in Clovis on the 21st. Blue Knights are waiting until about a week later, exactly a week later actually, June 28th, cores at the Crest San Diego and Vista, California. And this is interesting, and really I can't exactly put my finger on it, because and many have tried to kind of figure this out, and really nobody can. The best guess I can have is either they want more rehearsal time, or they struggled in getting a location or something. Or another thing could be maybe the membership is a little younger this year, and maybe there's more high school members, so they want to kind of, I guess, wait until everyone's out of school. But still, that it just seems odd, and be interesting to see if it really comes out and people can figure out why they're starting later than normal and usual. The following night, so after their first show, June 29th, Drum Corps at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. This is the first opportunity to see the Blue Knights if you're not in Vista or have not seen them already, especially if you have a Flow Marching membership. This is the first time you'll get to see them. And then the following night, they'll round out June, their 3 shows, June 30th with Western Corps Connection in San Bernardino. They are not going to go to the Midwest. They're going to go to the Pacific Northwest. So instead of going to the Midwest, doing whatever, going to Illinois, whatever else, they're going to go to the Pacific Northwest and participate in that part of the tour this year. Starting their month of July off, July 3rd with Rogue DCI up in Ashland, Oregon. Then they'll have 3 shows in Washington that will kind of bump them into the next week of tour, July 9th. They'll start that off in Boise, Idaho, July 10th, Core Encore in Ogden, Utah, and then round out this first part of tour July 13th with Drums Along the Rockies in Denver, another show that'll be streamed live on Flow Marching. This next third of the tour is really, or I guess this next part, they're not really split into equal thirds because I couldn't really find a nice even cutoff point at the beginning. The next part of tour for the Blue Knights is when the changes happen with the show and all of that. So after Denver, then they'll go to the Midwest, but they only do 1 show in the Midwest. Really, the Blue Knights don't touch any of Illinois or Missouri or Indiana or anything. I mean, Indiana obviously later in the season, but they don't cover any of that. They just have 1 show in the Midwest, and that's El Dorado, Kansas on July 15th. Then they'll go down for Texas tour. They'll be in Denton, San Antonio, Mesquite, DCI Southwestern Championship. First look at everybody on an equal playing field. Then they'll start the next week in Mesquite, as I said, but then continue on July 24th with DCI Arkansas. keep going on to DCI Birmingham, and then July 27th, they will be in Atlanta for the DCI Southeastern Championship, the next regional on the schedule this season. After Atlanta, they'll travel up the eastern seaboard. They'll be in Winston-Salem, and then Winston-Salem, North Carolina, that is, and then Salem, Virginia on July 30th. August 2nd, they'll be in Allentown. That's the Friday night of DCI East this year. They'll be there. August 4th and 5th, 2 more shows, making that finals push. August 8th through the 10th, DCI World Championships in Indianapolis, and then the season will be over. So the 2019 drum majors for the Blue Knights, another little bit of unique thing going on here. They have 5 drum majors. Most corps you see really a max of 4, but they've got 5. Run through all of them, give a little bit of a bio here now. Daniel Belcher, he resides in Montreal, Quebec, and studies electrical engineering at Concordia University. This is his 4th year with the Blue Knights. He's been a drum major all 4 years and has performed with Rhythm X percussion and winds during his time in the activity. Caleb Florence is from Golden, Colorado, and goes to the University of Northern Colorado with a focus in classical percussion and is studying for a minor degree in American Sign Language. He marched 4 years with Blue Knights Indoor Percussion before joining the Corps this year. Mickey Hayes, she's from Lexington, Ohio, and is pursuing a bachelor's degree in music education with a focus on flute studies at Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio, and she was a member of the Blue Knights admin team in 2018. Steven Scacera is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is his 2nd year with the Blue Knights and as drum major. He is a graduate of Kiski Area High School in Pennsylvania, one of the top band programs in Pennsylvania. You think Norwin High School and then Kiski High School, just a fraction of some of the better bands in Pennsylvania. Scacera currently studies at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. That is where he studies safety, health, and environmental applied scientists. And last year, Tanner Mahovsky is a music education major at Colorado Mesa University. Majors on clarinet. This is his 3rd year of drum corps and his 2nd with the Blue Knights. So the Blue Knights 2019 main staff. These are the individuals who really hold that big position of I guess management and the top of the creative team as well, designing the show. So I won't really dive into like all of the instructional staff and all the techs and that. Just the main staff for the Blue Knights. So starting at the top here, Mark Arnold is the executive director of Ascend Performing Arts, the Blue Knights parent organization. Kevin Shaw listed here, he's the creative director and percussion composer and arranger. He is the music designer for the WGI Independent World 2019 gold medalist, Broken City, and the WGI Scholastic World 2019 silver medalist, that is, Arcadia High School, and he currently serves on the WGI Board of Directors and Percussion Steering Committee, and he also serves at the top of the DCI Rules and Systems Task Force. So if you recall every year that they have the yearly meetings and they're making different competitive rules changes, Kevin Shaw is really the one they go to because he's the one that heads that committee and really is just the top of that, and is really one of the bigger influencers in the competitive aspect of the marching arts. Mike Jackson, he's the music coordinator and currently holds that same position as Kevin Shaw does as a percussion composer and arranger. Jay Murphy is visual director. Jay Bocook is brass composer and arranger. James Gow is drill designer. He marched Vista Marietta High School in California and also Pacific Crest and the Blue Devils. He's currently the visual caption head for Vista Marietta in California. They are one of the more successful high school band programs in California. Again, think Ayala, Vista Marietta, Chino Hills up there. And also Gow has taught at the Mandarins Cadets and Blue Devils. J.C. Wilson is the color guard designer and color guard caption head. Chad Heine is the program coordinator and ensemble coordinator for the Blue Knights. He's currently the music design coordinator for Hebron High School in Texas. Again, one of the more successful high school band programs in the nation. He's currently a judge for WGI and BOA and has been an assistant director, again, going back and mentioning Kiski Area High School in Pennsylvania. Also, Heine has worked with the Cadets, Boston Spirit, and Glassman. Veronica Wicks is the percussion caption head. She is a percussion educator in Southern California and teaches and designs for battery percussion at several high schools in Southern California, along with Broken City Percussion, who I mentioned earlier was the WGI Independent World Champion this past season. Phil Idell is front ensemble caption manager. He instructs, arranges, and designs for several high school marching bands in the Los Angeles area and serves on the front ensemble staff at, again, Broken City, and he marched Pacific Crest, Blue Devils, and RCC Indoor. Keith Ty is the brass caption head. He was the assistant caption head in 2018 and has worked with the Academy, marched the Blue Stars, and Crown up to 2016. He's currently brass instructor for Rhythm X Winds and has worked with Lawrence Township High School and Carmel High School, both in Indiana. And finally on this list, Zach Stillwell is visual caption head. So, the Blue Knights 2019 production, it is entitled I Remember Everything. I'm using what Lee Carlson used in his interview with DCI's Dan Potter. The Blue Knights show is kind of about the Blue Knights through their time in the activity and as a core. Basically, how they've developed their individual character as a core and the design stuff that they've been using and kind of just enhancing that a step further. He said that they're going to explore exciting music, and the music for the show seems to be a crowd pleaser so far. Everybody seems to be like, okay, this is a pretty good repertoire. And also the costumes, they are, again, familiar with what the Blue Knights have been using with the sparkly stuff, but new in the design, obviously, and also the color of them. So that's basically what we know about the Blue Knights 2019. It'll be interesting to see how the show develops and if they go up or go down or whatever they end up doing by the end of the season in the rankings. So thank you for watching this season preview. I have just a few things. Make sure to visit my website, drumcorpscentral.weebly.com, for all the latest updates from the DCI and DCA summer tours. Scores, schedules, leaderboards, and more can all be found on my own personal website about all things drum corps. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DrumCorpsGeek and subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Show Day Podcast, where this podcast and more will be posted as the season goes on. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.